Hello, everyone. I am Sarah Lee, the owner of Awe and Wonder Travel. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can keep up to date with all of my travel videos. Today's topic is when is the ideal time to start planning and booking your next vacation? And the answer is it depends on where you're going, when you're going, and how many different things are going to need to be planned in order to make your vacation a success. Let's start with the where. This can ultimately be broken down into international vacations versus domestic vacations. The OBW, or what I like to call the optimal booking window for international vacations, is typically 6 months to a year. And the reasons for this is there are often a lot of documentation that needs to be taken into account before you can go on these kind of vacations. From passports, visas might be required, and you may even need to get some vaccinations depending on where it is you're going. These are things that your travel advisor cannot do for you. You have to make sure you get all of those things in place. I can give you the advice on where to go to get the proper documentation to apply for these things, or help you find your nearest travel clinic that can get you the proper vaccinations, but I cannot do those things for you. You have to take care of it, so you want to make sure you have plenty of time to get all those things in place. The second reason to give yourself a 6 to 12 month window is because a lot of times for international vacations, you might be doing something like a river cruise or an ocean cruise or some sort of escorted tour, where most of those kind of travel companies will allow you to make a deposit to reserve your spot at the time you're booking, but then you don't have to make the final payments until anywhere between typically 30 to 90 days before you go on the trip. So if the price initially seems a little bit steep, this will give you some time to save up some money so that you can afford your vacation. If you do it too soon between when you book and when you're going, you may have to pay the entire thing up front. And if you don't feel you can do that, then it's not going to be the best situation for you. The other reason is if you book things more than a year in advance, there's a lot of things that can happen in a year's time. Your financial situation could change and you can no longer afford to go on the vacation. There could be some medical things that come up. There's just any number of things that could get in the way of you enjoying your vacation, and we don't want that to happen. So if we keep it somewhere under that year, it ensures that there's less things that could get in the way of your vacation. Also, if you book it more than a year, I know vacation is super exciting, but there can be a point where it feels like it's so far in the future that you're just never going to get there, and you end up losing a little bit of the excitement, and we don't want that to happen. So definitely try to keep it somewhere between 6 months and a year to have time to plan for all the things that you need and to make sure that something isn't going to get in the way of your vacation. For domestic travel, now we don't have all that documentation that we have to worry about, and typically speaking, those are generally less expensive than international travel, so you may not have to worry about coming up with funds. So you may not need all of that time to save up money. So 3 to 6 months is my recommendation for domestic travel. Now let's talk about the when you are planning to go. If you are looking at going to certain places that are super popular during points in the year, like say going to New Orleans during Mardi Gras season, you're definitely going to want to plan well in advance for that. If you want to have a choice on which hotel you stay in, or if you're looking at a particular kind of room within a hotel, there's going to be a lot of other people trying to go there at that same time. And so you want to make sure that you plan in advance so that you can get the things that you want during the time that you want to go there. Most places have what's called a high season when a lot of other people are trying to go there. And so those times are when you're going to want to plan well in advance to make sure you can get all the things that you need before they fill up because all the other people are trying to go there. So if you have some flexibility in when you are traveling, you definitely want to talk to your travel advisor about checking out the shoulder season or even the off season for a particular destination. This can often save you money because you can get lower prices during those times because the companies will be trying to get customers to come in during a time when it's not super popular, so they'll give you some great deals. But you also have to, there's a little bit of a give and take there because you have to check out why people are not going there during that time. It might be because the weather is not so great. Like you might be looking at a place that has a hurricane season and you really don't want to be traveling there during hurricane season. And there may be some other things, like there may be activities or places that you really want to see when you get there, but those things are only available during certain times of the year. So if you try to go during an off season, you might not be able to get that activity. So, definitely some things to talk about with your travel advisor to decide what is the best fit for you. And then the third thing is to think about all of those different pieces that need to be booked and taken care of in order to make your vacation run flawlessly. If you're doing something like just a simple weekend trip to somewhere, you just want to fly in, you need a place to stay, and you're really not planning to do a whole lot, you really just want to have a nice relaxing weekend, that's something that, you can do that just a month or so ahead of time. And it would be pretty easy to get it done unless you're looking at some super popular hotel that everybody's trying to get into all the time. Then you might need a little more advance notice. But if you're doing something that requires a whole lot of pieces, say you're looking at doing a tour of Europe and you're planning to go to multiple countries and you don't want to do some kind of pre-packaged tour, you want it to be very customized where you get to go exactly where you want to go, that's going to take a lot of planning because your travel advisor is going to have to look at the transportation between all of the places and time things so that you don't get stuck in high traffic. And you're also going to want to look at places to stay each night and look at all the different activities that you want to fit in. And it's a lot of work. So you definitely want to make things easy on your travel advisor by giving them plenty of time to get all those pieces together for you. So to recap, we talked about when is the ideal time to start planning and booking your next vacation. And we said it depends on where you're going, typically 6 to 12 months for international destinations and 3 to 6 months for domestic destinations. When you are going, check out the shoulder season and off season if you have some flexibility so you don't have to go during the high season, and the number of pieces or items that you're going to have booked in order to make your vacation work flawlessly. So, if you are ready to start thinking about your next vacation, please visit travelallwonder.com or follow my social media links down below so that you can connect with me because I would love to help you plan your next vacation. I hope you have an awesome and wonderful day.